The drama surrounding the Cleveland Browns feels like it's reached a breaking point. What was once a season built on cautious optimism has now become a story of frustration, disappointment, and a team standing at the edge of a major transition. Kevin Stefanski's comments after the loss to the Ravens weren't the usual empty words of a head coach trying to soothe the fan base. They were a direct acknowledgment that things have gone off the rails and that change may be coming sooner rather than later. In the aftermath of a game defined by self-inflicted wounds, blocked punt, a fumble recovery, and a costly interception, Stefanski's message was clear. We'll own it. We'll keep our heads down and keep working. But we have to be smarter. Those words, delivered in his calm but deliberate tone, carried weight. They hinted at more than just adjustments to play calling or effort. They hinted at the quarterback position. Joe Flacco, once seen as the steady veteran who could manage a game, looked anything but steady against Baltimore. His performance was riddled with hesitation, late reads, and throws that seemed to come a second too late. Opportunities were there, Stefanski admitted, but Flacco couldn't seize them. Each missed read, each delayed throw, and each turnover turned the game further in the Ravens' favor. And with every mistake, the Browns' offense looked more and more stagnant. For a team trying to claw its way into playoff relevance, that kind of quarterback play simply isn't sustainable. The cracks showed most clearly in the big moments. There were drives where Flacco looked like he was moving in slow motion, holding the ball too long until the defense swallowed him up. There were times when his eyes locked on a receiver too soon, telegraphing the throw before the defensive backs even had to guess. The sacks piled up, not because the line completely collapsed, but because Flacco hesitated at the exact moments when decisiveness was needed. And then came the interception. Desperate heave toward a heavily covered receiver when throwing the ball away was the only smart option. It was a play that didn't just end a drive. It killed momentum, handed the Ravens prime field position, and underlined why the Browns' offense continues to sputter. Flacco himself didn't hide from the mistakes. After the game, his words carried a mixture of resignation and accountability. He admitted he misread the situations, admitted his throws were late, admitted he should have been sharper. The only thing I can control, he said, is how I play and how this team shows up every day. It was a veteran's way of accepting that his future in Cleveland is now out of his hands. His body language said just as much. Shoulders slumped, tone weary. Eyes heavy. Flacco looked like a man who knew the end of the road was near. That resignation only fueled speculation that the Browns are preparing to hand the reins to Shedeur Sanders. Stefanski never outright confirmed it, but his repeated insistence that the team needs to be smarter with rotations was enough to set off alarms. Why would a head coach bring up rotations at quarterback unless he was preparing the ground for a switch? Sanders has been waiting in the wings, and though raw, he brings a spark that this offense desperately needs. He's mobile. He's confident. He plays with urgency. And most importantly, he represents the possibility of something different, something new. Something that can shift momentum in a way Flacco simply cannot. The media has already begun writing the next chapter. Analysts have called it plain as day. Shannon Sharpe didn't mince words when he looked at the tape. "It's over," he declared. "You watch him today. It's over." That blunt assessment echoed what fans have been whispering for weeks. Flacco isn't the guy anymore. He may have been once. He may still have flashes of the veteran intelligence that made him a Super Bowl champion. But those flashes are rare, and in today's NFL, rare isn't enough. You need consistent execution, quick decisions, a quarterback who can survive the relentless pressure of divisional games. Flacco can't do it, and everyone can see it. The Browns don't have the luxury of time. This isn't a rebuild year where they can afford to let a veteran play out the string. They're a team built on defense, fighting for relevance, desperate to find stability on offense before the season slips away entirely. And with each game that passes, the case for Flacco shrinks, while the case for Sanders grows. What Stefanski hinted at isn't just a rotation tweak. It's the recognition that if they don't make a change, the entire season risks collapsing. Flacco's experience gave the Browns a safety net, but that net has torn. Every delayed throw, every turnover, every costly mistake has stripped away the trust that once existed. Stefanski's admission that opportunities were there and not taken wasn't just criticism. It was a signal to the locker room, the front office, and the fans that the Browns are ready to look in another direction. Sanders represents that direction. His inexperience is a risk, but at this point, sticking with Flacco feels like an even bigger gamble. The writing is on the wall. The Browns are moving on, and the Flacco chapter is closing. For a fan base that has lived through decades of quarterback turmoil, it feels like déjà vu. Another name added to the long list of failed solutions. But this time, there's also a sense of possibility. Sanders may not be perfect, but he's different. He brings hope in a way that Flacco no longer can. And for a team clinging to its playoff chances, hope is more valuable than nostalgia. So now the question shifts to the fans. Do you believe the Browns are making the right move by preparing to give Sanders his shot? Is it time to finally turn the page on Joe Flacco? Or do you think the veteran deserves one last chance to prove he still belongs? Let us know what you think, and don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on the Browns' journey through this roller coaster season.